So a couple of things here. Have you got enough volunteers? Have you got enough trucks and kit and appliances? Because that's been a criticism, certainly of the firefighters union. They say the resourcing's down. They're not happy about the levy. I went to a CFA rally on the steps of Parliament. There were a good 80,000 people there with their trucks, fired up about their communities, not happy to both pay the levy, but also be on the front line fighting the fires.
So I guess let's talk about volunteer numbers first.
Yep.
I do get asked that quite a bit. Volunteer numbers naturally fluctuate, and we see that because people's circumstances change. We see people come into the fire service, participate for a period of time, leave for university, or as I say, life happens. And then we see them come back into the organisation a bit later in life. And so we're holding it steady at around 52,000 volunteers across the state, of which some 29,000 of them are operational. And we do expect to see that go up and down, which is why, from a CFA perspective, we need to make sure that we're always recruiting and renewing our organisation and finding the next generation of CFA volunteers to come into our organisation so that we are and continue to be a sustainable organisation into the future. If I move on to trucks and equipment, obviously, as you say, the United Firefighters Union has been advocating for their career firefighters. That's a matter for the United Firefighters Union and the career fire services. But from the CFA perspective, what I can tell you is, in my time as Chief Officer, we've rolled out near 300 appliances to brigades across the state. We've got 175 appliances today on order, some $81.5 million worth of appliances that will continue to roll out to our brigade.
Just quickly, because I'll have to get onto another topic, but time comes up this quite frequently, the line that there is not enough backburning done. I spoke to the Howard Society the other day. It's exacerbated in Victoria because a lot of those timber workers out the Gippsland areas that maintain fire tracks, that did some of that burning, they no longer exist. Timber has been shut down as an industry. They say that makes us more vulnerable. What do you think?
Oh, look, I think issues around public lands and those areas are looked after by our very capable colleagues at Forest Fire Management Victoria. And I know I speak to the Chief Officer there quite regularly, and he's very conscious about making sure that our public lands are ready for upcoming seasons. There's a lot of conversation around planned burning and hazard reduction and mitigation. My response to that would be it is but one of the tools in the toolkit that we have for protecting Victorian communities from devastating fires and summers. It needs to be combined with a strategy of public education and other prevention strategies. And it's a shared responsibility between community, land managers, landowners and fire services that come together, work together in order to make sure that we are ready for a summer.
Yeah, well, no state in the country has had the loss of life that Victoria has, so it's a topical conversation, one we've got to have, and I think it's a real concern if you're already talking about it now in a wet Melbourne week to say we should be concerned. We are. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.